Last time on Resurrect SMP. So I think the best course of action is to get it from the top. What is this? What is this thing? And what happens if I touch it? Oh, my head. Oh, boy. Wait, where's the rest of my stuff? No! I have to start over again? No! So, like at the start of any world, I ran around the world and started gathering supplies, but this time, I had an idea. See, I wanted to create a place that I could be kind of proud of. But in order to do that, I need to get some basic stuff. So I got myself lava, which I got, of course, by killing the iron golems. Then I went over to go get myself some snow. And all the while, I was collecting trees here and there to try to diversify. And then I found myself a cherry blossom village, which was kind of shocking, but kind of helpful because I got myself yet another iron golem. From there, I made my way back over to the island and began building my area. The first thing I did was started to plant every single tree that I own. And while I was collecting all the different stuff around the world, I also was eagerly getting some trees. And I got myself some birch, some oak, some dark oak trees, as well as, of course, spruce. And so I started to spam it out and try to collect as many as I can within a short amount of time. And all the while, I was also harvesting some cobblestone thanks to the stone generator. And then from there, started to kind of work around the edges, trying to make sure that the entire area was within a mushroom biome. And then I started collecting more moss by just putting down moss and bone mealing them wherever I could, so then I can make mossy cobblestone, which I'm going to use in the build later on. From there, I started to lift up the land. And then from here, I decided to carve out the boundaries and make a sort of detailed wall around my island. And then from here, started to make the path towards my building, and then laid out the wheat that I'm going to be using as sort of an aesthetic for my entire island. And then from there, started constructing upwards my small little house, which I think comes out really, really great. And trying to put in as much detailing as possible. This is probably the best building that I've made in Minecraft so far. And just to fill in that empty space in the corner, I made myself a wheat silo, just a small one, that I'm also going to use as sort of a hidden passageway down to my mines. And then from here, all I had to do now was to plant all the wheat, let it grow, and we are finished. I really like how this build came out. This is probably the best build I've done, really, ever. I'm not really much of a builder, but I got some pointers for some of my friends, and I especially love the detailing on the pathway. Honestly speaking, the path took the longest amount of time. Like, the house was hard to design, but the path, oh man, trying to design a path and not listen to that little voice in my head that's going like, it's not straight, it's all dirty and messed up. Having to ignore that and then just like trust the process of detailing, oh, this took the longest amount of time, but I'm really happy with how it came out. And if we go inside, we even have a balcony on the second floor, overlooking the ocean. I can't wait to start again in this new world.
Start again, you say?
Wait, who are you? And why do you kind of look like me?
I'm you, but in another timeline. You might know me as Onesie Buddy.
Onesie Buddy? But you were just one of my...
Yes, in your timeline, I was probably some helper. But in my old world, you were mine. But enough about me. You were excited about this new world. What if I shared some of my knowledge?
What is that?
This right here is a quarry. And if you're like me, we both hate
mining. Exactly. But there's no such thing as a quarry.
But if it doesn't, then how am I holding it? Look, I propose a deal.
A deal?
Yes. I shall share with you some of my knowledge that I've collected throughout my time here and in the world beyond. And in exchange, you share me a part of your soul.
My soul? Ooh, this future different version of me is insane, but if it means I get the know-how to expand Kigacore? Okay, Onesie, I accept.
Excellent. I thought this might be different, but you always do make this deal. Brace yourself, Kigarui.
Ow! Oh, jeez! Oh, my head! Oh, it's throbbing. But I know what to do now. Oh, man. I hope I don't regret this deal. Well, that was a weird experience. I just kind of, I guess, fused souls with my future self, I guess? But, hey, I mean, if there's ways to create more stuff and create technology, I don't see what the problem is, especially if he's just me from the future. I'm just basically stealing future knowledge, right? I'm sure nothing bad will ever happen because of that. But looking at my inventory right off the bat, there is a lot more stuff, and it's sort of like the book here, but it also gives me a lot more information about stuff, so I guess it's not all bad. The thing he showed me was a quarry, and aha, there is a quarry. Okay, so first things first, we gotta go mining in order to get all these items. We should probably build ourselves a bunch of tools because we're gonna go digging and mining for a little bit. Even with this new knowledge, I still have to do some basic mining. At the end of the day, it's still day one of this new world, so I still gotta do all the basics. Okay, we finally got all the stuff that we'll need in order to build this quarry, which is going to solve a lot of my problems, like not having
I think it's about time we head to spawn.
Onesie?
Yes, it is me.
Go over to spawn?
Yes, we need to go see the next task.
Okay. I'm gonna go put this back in the chest just so I don't lose it.
Okay, but hurry up.
Huh, a jukebox. Wonder what's on it.
Welcome, wanderers. I am the Observer. Your task for now is to go into the village in the distance, tear down the buildings, and create buildings of your own. Revitalize and redecorate the village as you see fit, but there must be at least 5 different buildings from 5 different wanderers, with 10 villages roaming around the village. Until next time.
Huh.
I've always had the flair for the theatrics.
Yeah, you were being a little dramatic there, but I kind of enjoy the little spice you put into it. But why do you have us doing these tasks?
Well, it's not me in this world. I'm merely a onesie from another world.
It's not you.
This is a different onesie. I believe he calls himself the Observer.
I mean, I suppose that's fair enough.
I'm here to help you with this world. But for now, just play along.
Just play along for now?
Yes, we don't know what this Observer has in store for us.
Okay, yeah, I could do that. There are other people in the world?
Of course there is. You're not the only wanderer that plans different worlds.
Okay, gonna go back to my house, grab some of my materials, and then come back and start building.
Yes, you do that. Gather your supplies and complete this task.
What the heck? I was gone for a day, and it seems like all the people have already made a quasi-town. That's kind of insane. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to pick up the pace or else I'm gonna be left behind with everyone else. Oh boy. There we go. There's our tavern, and I think it came out really well. I wanted to keep with the aesthetic and the color palette of the rest of the town, but I wanted to make it kind of my own kind of style, and I think it came out really well. Now granted, there's nothing inside of it yet, but I'm planning for this place to become kind of like a tavern. So over here we have the counter, which people can like probably sit on, which I'll have to do some other time. The side chairs and maybe like a private booth for people who are on dates. And then on the top side, we're gonna have a bunch more for people who just like look over nature, or like maybe at night they'll want to stargaze and have a couple of pints with the homies. I'm planning to have the drinks be potions, as well as some lore attached to the name. But yeah, I think it came out really well. But now that we have done this and I've done my part, it's time to go power up that quarry. So, before we start this episode, I just want to let you know, you'll notice that I'm actually wearing diamond armor. And how I got diamond armor, I played with other people on the server for a bit. Now some inside baseball, I actually play on the server quite a bit with my friends. I made sure that anything that I did in the server didn't really impact what I was doing as far as lore goes. But that also meant that I was able to get this diamond gear with enchants thanks to one of the fellow wanderers named Kane, and they allowed me to use his mob grinder. As a result, I was able to enchant all my gear, and I went out of my way to go find another fortress and got myself a backpack randomly. So that was nice. But enough inside baseball, let's get back into it. What is this place?
This is White Space, where I will teach you everything you need to know. And, of course, by now, you've seen the quarry.
Yeah, this is the quarry that'll solve so many of my problems.
And it will, but we need to go over on how to power it. This is a water wheel. As the name suggests, it provides rotational power generated by being pushed by water.
Ah, simple enough.
But rotational power isn't the only thing to worry about. Each wheel can only handle so much stress.
Stress?
Yes, stress. By adding in another water wheel, you have twice the stress capacity to power the contraptions.
So it's not just rotational speed, but also stress capacity.
Now you're beginning to understand. Here's a large water wheel. It moves twice as slow, but provides twice the stress capacity.
So if I'm understanding this, if I'm going to power many machines, I'm going to need a lot of stress capacity.
Correct. Now go forth, Kigurumi, and turn the Wheel of Fate.
So I think today, we're going to go focus on making ourselves some power generation, because all we have right now is a hand crank and mechanical saw that we used to get all the trees to make this building before. So I think the goal for today is that we're going to be focusing on some general power generation, because now we know how to do it, we might as well go ahead and start generating some power. And the power that we're going to be focusing on is, of course, the rotational power, because eventually we need something to power up all of our machines. First things first, we need to make ourselves some water wheels. Okay, so with our stuff that we have so far, let's go smelt up the zinc that we have and grab some andesite. Now I think I have some andesite somewhere in here. Ah, here it is. Grab the rest of our zinc, and we're just gonna wait for this to finish. That should be enough zinc, and then with the zinc we turn it into zinc nuggets. And with zinc nuggets, we should be able to make ourselves andesite alloy. Then we're going to turn this over into shafts. Now with the shafts, we can make into cogs. Let's grab ourselves a stack of logs. You know what, we should probably measure out before we make all the water wheels, just in case. Now, in order to get the maximum of around 16,000 stress units, we're going to need 32 water wheels, which I don't think is going to be possible. But what we're going to do is try to fit in as much as we can along this wall so that it kind of fits in with the aesthetic. So I suppose we can start right here. So 1, 2, 18, 19, 30, 31, 32. Huh. So let's make ourselves 32 water wheels, which will then give us a max of around 16,000, or to be more precise, 16,384, but we'll just round up to 16.5 worth of stress units. So with that, make ourselves some large water wheels. So this is basically all we need in order to make ourselves some starter power. So let's put all this away and get started in the morning.
Now that you have stress capacity, it's time to speed up the rotation.
And how do we do that?
Simply by shifting gears. If you use a large cog, then connect it to a small cog, you'll see that the small cog moves twice as fast as a large cog, and the reverse is also true.
Gear changing done simply.
And though you can't keep increasing the rotational speed, you should know that at a certain velocity, the small cog will break.
Ah, I see.
And the faster the rotation, the more stress your contraptions will generate.
So, use with caution.
Moving on, you may be familiar with this simple setup.
Oh yeah, it's a basic stone generator.
Yes. With this, we can attach a drill that will automatically mine the stone into cobblestone.
Simple enough. We already got the speed and capacity anyway.
Oh, do we? Well, what happens when we add a millstone?
Oh, the entire thing seized up. I guess we're over our stress limit.
Correct, but this can easily be solved by providing more large water wheels to increase the stress capacity.
Hey look, it works again.
And now you'll see the millstone grind up the cobblestone to turn into gravel for us to harvest.
Gravel? What's the point in gravel?
Simply put, when you wash gravel using a fan blowing through water, it'll wash the gravel and
turn it into an iron nugget. I see, so it's an all-in-one iron farm. Oh, we could definitely work with this. First thing I'm going to need besides zinc and andesite is definitely going to be a steady supply of iron. But in order to get iron, I need to make myself a couple of things. Firstly, I need to get myself some belts. But in order to get myself some belts, I'm going to need kelp. And because we're in a warm ocean biome, there's not going to be any kelp anywhere nearby. So that probably means I'm going to have to head back to Centralia, cook it, and then convert that into a belt that I could then use with my shafts to create a conveyor belt. And then from there, I'm going to need to make mechanical drills and whatnot. Either way, I'm going to have to figure out how to make myself an iron farm given the resources that I don't have. We'll go with 2 stacks, just in case. Is that a dragon? That should be enough for now, and I got a little extra just so I can grow some on my side. Now, to my knowledge, I don't think we need a funnel to go into it. You can just accept items that fall onto it. So let's go down just a little bit so it's away from any wood. We'll drill down and it'll land on top of this millstone. Let's just remove power just so I don't accidentally hurt myself. Then we'll have the lava right on top, shoot out this way, and using an encase fan, it'll blow water. All we gotta do is put down a sign and then place water right here. And we'll be good to go. Cross this out. Yeah, there we go. Now it's making stone. Now all you gotta do is put this in the shaft and hopefully it doesn't overstress. It doesn't. Wonderful. Oh, but it's going the wrong direction. No. We'll just put a gearbox, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's not ideal, but it is what it is. I actually don't know if faster fans means faster wash. Oh well, let's make some more fans. Plunk down water right here, so it starts washing on that end. And then plunk down water on the other hand, and now it's double washing. There we go. That should theoretically work now. Let's connect this entire system together. And we'll just stay here for a little bit and kind of just let this do its thing. Okay, after some time, we got 176 iron nuggets, so I'm just gonna grab all these, and let's turn this machine off for now. I forgot to mention that what the toolbox does is that it allows you to hold 196 of a particular item. It holds a lot more than what you would actually think. Plus, it makes it easier for me to kind of sort things out, because I don't really have a way to sort out items as of yet. So let's just combine all these and see how much we've got. 19. We already made back all the investment it cost to actually make this thing. So I think it's about time that we, well, of course, scale it up a little bit. Okay, after some time, we got a whole lot of iron nuggies. Let's go. That's so many iron nuggies. And how many ingots is that? Oh, at least a stack's worth. With all this iron, we'll be able to hold ourselves over for quite a long time, but it's still not enough in order to power up the quarry. We're gonna need to make some super glue. Goal today is get some slime so we can make a windmill. But I'm thinking that because we already have the iron farm over here, we might as well start building out this place. And by building out, I mean we're probably gonna have to dig down a bit. So let's just mark out like a square, like a rectangular area. We just need to make sure that it minimizes the amount of turns there are. So this is gonna be like the surrounding border, more or less. Okay, now we just have to figure out a sort of design. And before we go up, let's grab the rest of this. Holy moly, that's a lot of iron. Heck yeah, this was already worth the investment.
So you're familiar with the millstone and water fan, right?
Yeah?
Why don't you go ahead and drop the wheat onto it?
Okay.
It'll be ground up into wheat flour, and with the water catalyst, it'll turn into dough.
Oh, there's more dough than the wheat we put in before.
Yes, of course. The yield is always more than what the input is. Here's a depot. It'll hold a single stack of a single item.
So a placeholder of sorts.
So if we use a different catalyst, say a fireplace, it'll turn the fan into a smoker configuration.
Ah, so it makes bread.
Yes, and if you change the catalyst into lava, it'll turn into a smelter configuration. Why don't you place a sea pickle?
Hey, look at that. It turned into lime dye.
And if you combine dough and lime dye, it makes slime.
A slime farm with no slime. Oh, that's gonna be so handy. Okay, now that we're done actually building the workshop, let's take our parts that we need in order to make the iron farm and bring them downstairs so we can just rebuild that real quick. I guess while I'm at it, I'm also going to slow down the shafts because even though it's at max, I don't necessarily need it to be at max at all times, especially the fans. I think I'm going to slow everything down and then jump it up whenever I need it. Okay, finished rebuilding this entire thing. I'm sure there's a better way to design this, but for now, this will just do. I also lowered down the fan capacity to 50%, but I still am going to have some problems with power in the near future. But for now, I guess this will work. Now that we got this, it's time to go do what we were originally doing, and that's to get some slime. And the reason why we need slime is that it's a way for us to get super glue. And super glue is a thing that we're going to use to make contraptions. Now, normally I'd go to a slime chunk or go to a swamp and do a slime farm, but there is a different way to do this. We could just make dough. Let's get some of these seed pickles. We can cook them to create lime dye, which is what we need in order to make slime. So what we're going to do is that we're going to hijack the power coming from here. We'll extend it this way. Nope. Not that way. I really need to make a wrench, but I don't have materials yet. Move that all the way over here. Spin it up, just like this. So we want the encased fan right here. That'll spin this. Oh, no, it's going the wrong direction. The gearbox. Then we use an encased fan to blow it forward. There we go. At the end over here, we do the exact same thing as before. Put down the toolbox, andesite funnel, which will push down there. Grab some glass, just so we have a sort of cover on it, while also being able to see through it. Put down the water, now it's spilling through. Right on top of here, just like we did in the iron farm, grab a chute, one underneath, and then one on top. Then we just put a barrel. All we gotta do now, for a vertical gearbox. Then we just need a small cogwheel to spin it. There we go. Okay, so 71 dough. Cool. So since that works, let's go back topside and go get some more hay. Probably don't need like super a lot, but I do want to have enough that I never want to think about it again. That should be good. Then we'll run over here, plonk down in the barrel more of the wheat, and just watch it process a bit. Now we could put another fan there, but it's really not worth it. I mean, we're not making like a large scale right now, so this small scale stuff is going to be good enough for our purposes, especially when we're starting off. 146 right off the bat. That's a crazy amount. How's the iron farm doing? Woo, that is a lot of iron. So what we're gonna do with a stack of dough, if we combine dough and lime dye, we get slime balls. And the reason why we went for an iron farm at first was because in order to make super glue, we needed iron sheets and iron nuggets. So let's head back topside real quick, deposit all of our stuff we're not using, just so we can keep a clean inventory. Grab some of the iron that we just got, then start making ourselves some super glue.
So here we have a mechanical press. Throw the iron ingot under the press.
All right.
The first step to your progress in this world.
So we just dump one down here, turn this into nuggies, and boom. So now we got super glue, which is super nice. But of course, before we use the super glue, we still need more power. And since now we got slime, that means we can have ourselves a windmill, which will boost our power even more. Okay, so apparently there's a new task get spawned. So I'm gonna run up here real quick and we'll just go check that out. Oh, and let's see what's up.
Welcome, Wanderers. I am the Observer. While there are some bad actors that almost cost you parts of this world, you all did well to complete the last task. As congratulations, I shall expand the world by a chunk. Your next task is simple. Create another hub that connects at least 5 different Wanderer bases. But each hub must represent that base's theme, with Centralia as the central point of all the bases. Until next time.
Okay, so I basically just have to make a base and connect it all the way over to Centralia. So maybe they've already made a central hub in Centralia. So then that means all I gotta do is make another base for my island and just connect it, I guess. It doesn't seem too hard. Repair my stuff. On a side note, one of the server mates gave me a book called Soul Stealing, and so I put it onto my sword and I now have a zombie soul. I'm not sure what it does exactly. I'm probably gonna have to consult Onesie Buddy on this, but I have it, which I think is super cool, I guess. But here's the thing. While I was coming here, I saw something that really revolutionizes the world, and I'm not the one who did it. It seems that the members of the UGA have started plans on a train system, which means two things. One, they have the resources to do it, and two, they have the power to power this train station, which ultimately means I'm falling further and further behind, and I need to start catching up real quick. So if there's any motivation for me to get this quarry up and running as soon as possible, it's that rail line, because I can't be left in the dust.
This is a windmill chassis.
Huh, I was expecting it to be bigger.
Placing a radial chassis with slimes on the sides allows you to place blocks on it.
Ah, so that's how we make the bones of the windmill.
You can place up to 8 blocks on each side.
Huh, now it's starting to look big.
The windmill needs 128 wool or sails in order to give you max stress capacity.
Which means that each quadrant needs 32 blocks, basically.
Correct, and turning it on will make the windmill give you over 8,000 stress units.
Over 8,000? Wow, that's a lot of power. Alright, let's get to work. So over here, we already set up where windmill chassis is going to be. So let's open up this area so we can get on the other side, then plonk it right on front. Then let's grab some of our scaffolding, aka the netherrack, and on each side of the radial chassis, we're gonna plunk down a bit of slime. So from here, we're gonna grab, we might as well just grab a stack. And then from the bottom, we're gonna plunk down 8 logs underneath, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we go 8 to the left, 1, 5, 8, 1, 6, 8, 1, 2, 7, 8. Now here comes the problem. I do not have any wool. I just remembered as I was making this, that the whole original reason why I went over to Kane's place, I was trying to get myself some sheep so I can get some wool. I'm gonna probably be at their sheep farm for quite a bit, if they have one. Hopefully they have one. Otherwise, this might be a problem. Oh boy, it's so nice to be back home. I say that, and then I immediately remember that I have to climb this thing every time. There we go. Yeah. Let's put on our goggles to see how much stress this is putting in. Yeah, max 8,192. Great success. We managed to make ourselves a windmill. Picking up where we were left off yesterday, you'll see that I actually upgraded my base with some water wheels on both sides on both the second and third floor, which gave us a bonus around 16,000 stress units, which granted isn't a lot, but for the early game is going to help us tremendously, especially when it comes to getting the quarry active. Today we're going to be focusing on making us an elevator to get to the top to the bottom of this world, and specifically to bedrock. But in order to do that, we're going to need a couple of things. So we're going to need some mechanical drills. That's what it's called. So we need to get ourselves 9 mechanical drills. So some of that. Also, our iron farm has been just absolutely popping off. It has been doing so well. So we're gonna need 9 drills. Then we're also going to need to get our super glue, because super glue allows us to combine different machinery and turn it into a contraption, and to make sure that we can collect all the stuff. We're gonna grab the chest that we've been hoarding this entire time. So I'm planning to have the elevator be just this 3x3 area, although I've been like toying with the idea of just having it just a single one, but I really should have thought this out before starting this project. Should I make it a 3x3 or a 5x5? No, we'll make it a 3x3. There's no reason for us to get too greedy. Okay, so in order to do this, we just point down our drills downwards by doing shift right click. Now you can make it any size you want to. I'm just choosing 3x3 because it makes the most sense for my base. After you put down your drills, you just put down whatever container you want. In this case, I'm going to use barrels just because it fits better. And in the center, I believe I can use a barrel too because it's a full block, but we'll find out together. I'm like 50-50 on that. And before I forget, make sure you super glue this entire thing. So now it becomes a contraption. I realized that I purposely like slowed the entire thing down. So I'm gonna have to actually speed this up by jumping gears. So give me a moment as I try to jump this. You know what? I am going to speed it up to the right. And then we're gonna circle back and then power it up from there. And this is really sloppy. I'm probably gonna like tear this down and then build a better version later on. But right now we just need to make sure that it's up and running. Let me grab my speedometer just to make sure that it's at max speed. Theoretically, this should be the fastest. Yep, 256. Okay, so let's get going. Oh, I could use a belt pulley for this. It should just work once I connect this. Okay, and here we go. There we go. Holy moly, it is moving. Yeah, it was just on backwards. Well, guess we wait until it's done. Okay, so let's close this up for my own safety because I'm definitely going to fall in. But the first things first, I need to make an engine room for specifically the elevator so I don't have to deal with the cogs that are just out in the open. Probably going to have to figure out what the center of this is. So let's just come up from here. So that's going to be the center where it's going to be the drop-off point. Now we're going to need vertical gearboxes so we can transfer power forward. Let's move this forward just a little bit. Oh, ow. Just so it's out of the way. Oh, actually, we should put this in the top. That way we give ourselves enough room. So vertical gearbox here, then move this forward just a little bit so we're out of the way. What if we start off on the opposite end? Then from here, I begin jumping it, big to small. Think of this as one more jump. Yeah, one more jump. There we go. So here's the thing. Even though it's directly under us, we want this to be like basically one step forward. We put a shaft in and the pulley is there ready to go. So in actuality, we want this to be it rather than the other thing, not the other slab. Okay, so we're gonna need an elevator pulley. That's kind of an issue because we don't have brass. In order to get brass, we're gonna need to actually start mixing it, which means we have to go into the nether. So it's time for a quick detour. Thunderstorming again? It always seems like it's thunderstorming here. Let's grab some iron. We need 4 iron in order to make an empty blaze spawner. We should get ourselves a couple of blaze burners. Yeah, let's just process all of it. Why not? Alright, 17 blaze burners. Good thing that the nether fortress is so close by too, so I don't have to worry about traversing the entire nether just to get there. Maybe get some wither skeletons in the process. Hello? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Got another blaze. I really don't need this many blazes, but I might as well, right? Ooh, wither rose seeds. That could be useful. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, let's head back. I got all that I need. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna dump both of these inside, and then we're gonna light you up. Here we go, 16. Now we just gotta get some of our stuff over here. So I need brass casings, which is as simple as just putting down logs. So we're only gonna use 4 for now, because I don't think we're gonna be using brass that much yet. Then we cover it in brass, and then from here we need an entire block of dried kelp. It's a good thing I made my own like kelp farm here. Let's head up and cook these things so they become kelp blocks. And what else do I need? Oh, an iron sheet. Easy. That'll make us an elevator pulley. Then we need a redstone contact, so we need to go get ourselves some redstone. The first floor is going to be that, then the second floor, and then the third floor is going to be all the way on the bottom. We'll make 9 for now, because we might need more later on, but just in case. The next question is, how should I design this elevator? So what we're going to do is start with the bottom. That is there, then this goes right here. I'm not really feeling the walls. They're kind of too big. So, you know what? I think this is going to be good enough for now. Oh, geez, no! Oh, God, here we go. dang it. Place this down right here, and then we'll call this the workshop. Now, I just have to go all the way down, open this up, put that over here, and then we'll do bedrock center. And then we'll have more in between, but for now, until we quarry, we won't know exactly where we're going to set up, so it's better just to have it ready than anything else. Oh, this goes so fast. What the heck? Go back to ground floor. Oh, that's so cool. I'm going to send you up real quick because I need to see what's under. I'm thinking that maybe like 8 blocks down more is going to be the place where we're going to start the quarry. This is so unbelievably fun. Like, I didn't expect it to be this awesome to have an elevator. This is totally worth the effort. All right, now that we built the elevator, now it's time to go ahead and start building the alternator. But in order to make the alternator, we're going to need a couple of different things. If you look at the ingredients, you'll see that it looks very weird, and that's because it comes from the mechanical crafter. How many do I need though? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We'll just make a stack. I actually have to go out of my way to go get redstone soon because I'm actually almost out of redstone. Now that we got our mechanical crafter, because it's kind of like a big thing, we're probably going to dedicate an entire wall to it. So I say we use this wall. But right off the bat, we got to speed things up. So speedometer and just double check if it's at max speed. Good. So I only need 5, so let's not overtax the system. Okay, now that we have everything, let's do this. Copper coil, iron sheet, and then capacitor at the bottom. Then all we gotta do now is just power it. Why aren't you moving? Am I just dumb? So yeah, I had forgotten that in order to use a mechanical crafter, there needs to be some sort of redstone input in order for it to actually activate. So yeah, in conclusion, I am dumb. There we go. Okay, we got the alternator that's going to create power to FE power. Will then power the quarry, which runs off of FE power. But even if we run a quarry, the issue is that if there's nowhere to store it, the items will eventually get lost. And so we need to build a storage system that's robust enough to hold all the items while also being a good stopgap until we create a more permanent solution. And we have the inventory connector, which is going to be the basis of everything when it comes to our storage system. In addition to that, we're also going to need an inventory cable connector, a storage terminal that we're going to then immediately upgrade to a crafting terminal, and we're just going to get a bunch of inventory pipes. And then we're going to make a different variant of it, the framed cable, which is going to be important for later. And before I forget, let's go ahead and start making ourselves more storage terminals, because we're definitely going to need a lot of those. Okay, let's start building this storage area.